What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Chris here at Cullivella South Farm. So, I know I haven't always been the greatest at taking you guys along with all the steps of the process, so I'm trying to get better at that. So one thing that we're going to work on today is I went this morning and I got all the fittings that we need. Some hose here, as you can see, and oil, and we're going to set up our sap pump that we're going to be using to pump out the stock tanks on the different sections of pipeline. So we picked this up, I mentioned in a previous video, we picked this up at Harbor Freight. It's a Predator, it's called the semi-trash pump. 2-inch, it's a 212cc, and I'm not sure what the gallon per minute is, but this should fit all of our needs very well for pumping sap. And also I believe we should be able to use this in the summertime when we plant Christmas trees. Basically, we can fill up our sap tank with fresh water and use it basically to irrigate our newly planted trees. So it'll kind of serve a dual purpose. So what we're going to do today is basically set up the hoses and the fittings on the pump and get it all ready for sap collection. Our tank will be here on Monday, so once the tank comes, we'll see what we're going to need for fittings to be able to use this to also suck out the tank. And we'll probably have to go back and get some more fittings, but I figured we'd start with getting this all set up, add some oil to it, get the cam lock fittings on this, get them set up in the hose. The discharge hose is already all set. It might be a little long. It's a 25-footer, but they didn't have anything really shorter, so they had some cut-your-own hose, but it was out, and I didn't want to buy a big spool of I think it was 50 feet, because it was quite a bit more expensive than what we really need. So we got this. Hopefully this will work. If we have to, we can always cut it later. So anyway, guys, I'm just going to add some oil to this and start putting the fittings on. So there is a small amount of oil in this already, so I think we're going to need a funnel. Grab the funnel. We're just using regular old Valvoline 10W30. Once this thing breaks in, I might put a synthetic blend or a full synthetic in it, but for right now we're just going to use regular old Valvoline oil. I'm not exactly sure how much it takes, so we're going to put it in a little and check it. These small engines generally don't take a whole lot. There we go. We're good now. Right about 3/4, so we are good. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to test run this today. The instructions say you can't run it for more than 10 seconds with no water in it. And obviously everything's frozen today, so we don't have any water to put in it. So we will have to wait till we get a nicer day to try to prime this thing up and test it out. There's the oil. That's all set. So next thing we're going to do, we'll Teflon up our ends and we'll set up our cam lock. So this is the suction side over here. Suction. Discharge up here on top. I'll move you guys just a little bit. Suction over here, discharge on top. We're going to Teflon this up with some Teflon, and then we're going to be using cam lock fittings so that we can basically cam locks, quick connects, so that we can change directions, change hoses really quickly if we want to. So let's get our Teflon here, and we'll Teflon these threads up, which I don't know if we need a lot of Teflon because they are plastic fittings, so they should self-seal pretty well, but we're going to be safe and throw some Teflon on here anyway. Unfortunately, this Teflon I have right now is not very good stuff. Works, but it's a lot thinner than the normal stuff that I buy. But I figure once we use this up, we'll go back to get a couple of rolls of the normal stuff. Alright, so on our suction side, we're going to be using a female cam lock right here. Start threading that on. Get that partially threaded, and we'll grab a pipe wrench or a big pair of water pump pliers and this thing tightened on. Alright, so that's hand tight there. I'm not sure if my pliers are gonna go. Nope, those aren't. Let me see if I got a bigger setting in my toolbox. See if these are big enough. Oh yeah, these will be big enough. That's pretty tight. All right, there's our suction side. Clears, no problem with the frame. And I'll do our discharge. And on our discharge, we're going to use a male end. Tighten. Got that pretty darn tight by hand, actually. All right, there. That should be that. And we also have caps for this and a cover for this, which this one actually comes with a small little hole there, so we'll have to grab something, maybe some paracord that we can put through these to make sure that they stay on so we don't lose them. All right, so that takes care of that. So the last step will be prepping the suction hose here. So this is basically a rigid, it's a 2-inch PVC hose that I picked up at our local Runnings, and then a male. So obviously it's a suction hose, so we want it to fit in the suction side. So that's going to go in there, and we have a hose clamp. But this is actually a real heavy-duty nylock nut hose clamp. I don't want it to come off, so I think we might need the heat gun though to warm this up. But yeah, it's a little warm. I'll grab the heat gun, guys, and I'll be right back. So we're going to use our heat gun. This is PVC. We're going to use our heat gun to warm this up some so we can push the fitting in. It is very stiff. Had to actually shut the heater off because one thing, this heat gun I have really cooks. All right, there we go. We're started. Let me see if I can get this around here. I'll do that. Being cold, everything is stiff. Oh, come on. I'm actually gonna see if I can grab a mallet, see if I can tap this down some. Perfect. Little tonkin and little heat, and she goes right on. Now we'll grab a socket and tighten this thing up. Just bet you it's a 10. Oh yeah, 10 millimeter. This thing isn't taking out everything, guys. So we'll get this hose clamp on here. Hopefully we don't bottom it out before it gets tight. The sizes were a little off a little different on these, so hopefully I think it should be correct. Yeah, there we go. And I think what I'll probably do is cut a little bit of this extra thread off so that we don't catch ourselves on it. There's quite a bit. I'll leave enough that we can loosen it and slide it, but I'm definitely going to cut some off so we don't catch ourselves on it. That should pretty much do it, guys. We got our suction hose made up. Got our suction hose made up that will go. Our suction hose made up that we can put into the end of our pump here. I'll make up some little lanyards with some paracord so we don't lose our caps. And we got oil in it. So we're pretty much ready for a nicer day when we can find a clean water source and prime this thing and run it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. A little different, kind of more of a trying to be better about taking you guys along with everything that I do here for sugaring season. And yeah, well, anyway, guys, like I like to say, if you like these videos, please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Except for you, Travis. And just remember, it'll be all right.